Make a shorter to-do list. Long to-do lists are always jotted down with the best of intentions. You wake up with dreams of getting everything done, leaving you to relax the rest of the day. However, overstuffing your to-do list can actually lead to you finishing just a fraction of what you set out to do. When you end the day with several unaccomplished items on the agenda, you may feel a sense of failure. A small step you can take to boost your productivity is to write a shorter to-do list. Prioritize your most important tasks and commit to finishing them in their entirety. If you begin with the hardest task first and get it out the way, everything else will feel much easier in comparison. Set a timer. Setting a timer is a deceptively simple trick, but one that can help get the power of productivity flowing. Figure out what working pace works best for you. If you usually take 25 minutes to get a task done, set a timer for that 25 minutes. Working in spurts with a timer set to alert you when it's time to take a break will work wonders for your overall work ethic. Automate your life with routines. It seems that everyone, save for professional organisers, wishes they could be a more organised person. However, many of us love the feeling of order and tightness that comes from proper organisation. One thing that is essential to creating an ordered, structured life, free from physical and mental mess, is the creation of daily routines. By creating routines that you take part in every single day, certain things will become part of your muscle memory, allowing you to maintain a sense of order. With these instructions, you will learn how to automate your life with routines, helping you keep on track with your day-to-day life. If you find that certain areas of your home or workspace constantly become a magnet for clutter, automating your life with a routine can help prevent this common pitfall. Habit trackers, now popular with the bullet journaling crowd, can be an effective way for anyone to automate their life. When you look at the month at a glance, you mark an X on every calendar day that you do the thing you're attempting to do regularly. For example, let's say you have the goal of tidying up your desk every single day so that when you return to work in the morning, you have a clean workspace. Starting from the first of the month on a calendar, put an X on every day that you successfully clean up your desk before leaving. At first, you may have to remind yourself to clean up your desk. You may forget once in a while. However, as this becomes a habit, you'll do it without thinking. It is now automatic, occurring like clockwork, without what feels like any additional effort from you. If the habit you're trying to make is related to cleaning, you may notice that you need less time every day to get it done once it becomes a habit. Less mess will accumulate, and you won't have to dedicate as much time to it. Another powerful method for this is an accountability partner. Find someone to take part in an automation challenge with you and hold them to their promises as well. Check in with each other on what progress you're making on automating your life. Having someone hold you accountable will make it easier to form a lasting habit. Stuck on inspiration? Well, here are a few more ways that you can automate your life with routines. 1. As mentioned earlier, cleaning up your workspace is something that needs to be done, especially if you spend every day there. However, don't neglect the importance of cleaning up the inside of your computer as well. You can run programs like CCleaner on a schedule and set up an automatic file backup to ensure you never lose your data. Set it and forget it. 2. Put your bills on autopay. Forgetting to pay bills is something all of us have gone through. Thankfully, most bill pay sites, even for things like rent and utilities, can arrange for auto payment with ease. 3. Create a schedule for maintaining your home. Break your tasks up into short bursts and do your house cleaning on regular days. For example, dedicate 20 minutes to dishes, as much time as is needed to laundry, and 30 minutes to generally declutter and organize around the house. Of course, depending on your life and needs, there are plenty of ways to automate your life with routines. It all comes down to arranging what you need and when you need it. Eventually, as habits form, you'll find it easier and easier to stay on track. Being productive and creative. To some, it may feel like work and overall productivity is the enemy of creative freedom. To those who thrive creatively, your to-do list could seem like a hindrance on your ability to explore the avenues you seek. You're stuck between the big picture and the day-to-day details. Trying to juggle both of these will lead to major stress and a quick burnout. There is actually a scientific reason for this. These two things require different types of thinking, generated from individual rhythms within your brain. That means the good news is, it's not just you. Thankfully, there are plenty of ways that you can balance being productive and creative. It is entirely possible to still be creative while keeping a sense of productivity to your life. Let's look at 3 ways that you can manage to be creative and productive at the same time. Induce psychological distance. Have you ever noticed that when you step away from a problem, you feel more inclined to come up with creative solutions for it? For example, when you hop in the shower after you get home from work, you suddenly have 5 ideas about how to fix the issue you've been humming and hawing over for several hours. That is an example of psychological distance at work. According to psychologists, psychological distance can help creativity. Our brains are more likely to think creatively about situations we aren't experiencing at the moment. In order to be creative, we need to be removed from the problem. One way you can do this is to think about another person's perspective. Think about who else is working on this problem or talking about the issue. Using this frame of reference may help you to be more creative in your solutions and problem solving. Another simple way to achieve psychological distance is to take a break and work on another project. Whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, try working on something else for a short period of time. Also, be sure to schedule regular breaks. Not only will this prevent burnout, but the psychological distance it creates will allow the creative juices to get pumping. Know when you work best. Creative thoughts tend to ebb and flow naturally during peak times of the day. This is different for everyone. Everyone is able to find their productive and creative grooves at different times of the day in different hours. If you're trying to work against your natural clock, you're not going to get things done effectively. For some people, the morning is when they see their peak productivity hours. Of course, those among us who are not morning people may think otherwise. It's based on your circadian rhythm, your personality, and your schedules. Don't underestimate the importance of breaks. No one is able to focus well for longer than 120 minutes. Make sure that you're giving your brain time to relax and to reorient yourself. Take a look at what hours you notice you are most productive. Make a note of them and try to arrange your schedule around these. When you're able to focus on productivity at certain times, your creativity can flow in others. Place constraints on yourself. Creative, non-linear thinkers can sometimes benefit greatly from the right constraints placed at the right time. Now, this doesn't mean micromanagement and restriction, but instead it's about finding a fine medium between the two. You'll have heard that necessity breeds invention. Constraints will change the way that we look at the world around us and how we solve problems. It may seem that fewer rules equals more creativity, but this isn't always the case. When resources are readily available, there's less incentive to use things in innovative, groundbreaking ways. If you have ever reached something high up by standing on a chair because you didn't have a ladder, you were creative due to a constraint. If you ask someone to make a 3-course dinner from 100 different ingredients versus if you ask them to make it with 10 different ones, the chef with 10 will have to come up with a more creative solution. The next time you find yourself unable to balance productivity and creativity, seek out ways that you can change the situation and flip the script. You may find that creativity lies in unexpected places and that changing your routine can make a massive difference. Breaks, the secrets of productivity. By all intents and purposes, you'd expect that working more would lead to more productivity. Of course, the more time you dedicate to something, the faster you'll get it done. However, many have found that breaks are an extremely vital asset. We all love breaks, but did you know they can actually make you a better worker? Here, we'll discuss how breaks are the secrets of productivity. Thinking about your regular work schedule, how many long stretches of work do you get done? Do you take breaks? If you don't have them pre-scheduled as part of your day, When was the last time you took one? If you rarely take breaks, you're not alone among salaried workers. Most of the time, the reason for this is simple. People are too busy. However, it is extremely difficult for anyone to focus on something for more than 120 minutes. Studies have shown that the brain will tend to wander, burn out, or just become muddled when it has been tasked with focusing on something for far too long. As humans, we love to multitask, even if it sometimes feels like we don't. When you take a break, you allow your brain to focus and compartmentalize everything it has taken in. You can settle and let this new information sink in, allowing you to use it more creatively and productively. When you don't take a break, you're exhausting your problem-solving capabilities. One of the best effects of having a regular break is the ability to shift your focus before returning to a problem with a fresh eye. Without regular breaks, you're running yourself and your problem-solving skills way too thin. You'll also notice a dip in your quality of work. When you are not well rested and well focused, there is no way you'll be able to produce your very best work. Even though taking a break means you're putting in less time, the quality of the time you put in will be significantly higher. If you're only working for 2 hours between breaks, those hours will be much more productive than 7 uninterrupted ones. Just as your body needs a rest, so does your mind. Taking a break is the secret to productivity, as it will keep you sharp, engaged, creative, and focused.